George Collingridge was a significant, if little-known Australian. He was an artist, author, historian, geographer, cartographer and linguist, as well as a strong advocate for issues important to his local community of Hornsby and surrounds, particularly Berowra. Today, I am joined by two of his granddaughters, Edith and Winsome, in his studio, and they will be providing some insights into this important Australian. Thank you for joining me.
Hello, I'm Winsome Collingridge, a granddaughter of the artist and historian George Collingridge. Although we weren't fortunate enough to know our grandfather personally, we have come to know and appreciate him as a person through our father and other relatives and friends that knew him, but also through his letters and diaries, which we are fortunate enough still to have, that bring him to life and reveal his personality and character. His family background, which, especially in early years, shapes a person, was in nationality English, the family having resided for generations in the little village of Goddington, some 15 to 20 odd miles from Oxford. But the family moved to France when George was a little boy of 6, so there is also a French influence. My sisters and I were able to visit the family home in Goddington, still standing, on our overseas trip in 2000. The family was listed as gentry and was staunchly Catholic and English. George came to Australia in 1879.
Hi, I'm Edith Collingridge, granddaughter of George Collingridge. George was the third in a family of 5, 3 brothers, 2 older brothers, Charles and Alfred, a younger brother, Arthur, the youngest of the family, and a sister, Mary, the 4th child. Charles became a Catholic priest and at one time chaplain to the Sudan contingent. Alfred was studying to be a Jesuit priest when he was killed as a young man of 21 whilst fighting for the Pope as a papal zouave. His younger brother, Arthur, was also an artist of note, and his sister Mary, on arrival in Australia, conducted a boarding school for young ladies at Hunters Hill.
George's education and training was early on with the Jesuits of Vaugirard, then as a student at Académie des Beaux-Arts, with studies in architecture under Viollet-le-Duc, Chapon for study of the figure, Harpignier, a landscapist of the Corot School, and of course discussions with Corot himself. His strong Catholic faith and adventurous spirit led him to follow his elder brother and join the Papal Zouaves in their fight against Garibaldi and his invasion of the Papal States.
He proved himself at this time also no mean swimmer, as he swam across Lago di Vecchio and back, a distance of some miles, and then rode to the barracks. He was also a very good walker and continued walking wherever he could, right into his later years. His many and varied interests led him to many wonderful places, occasions, and of course to meet many interesting as well as famous people. Sir Walter Davidson, and then Governor of New South Wales, Billy Hughes, Henry Parkes, Edward David, to name a few.
His fellow artists found him a modest and interesting personality. His family, a loving man and a great storyteller to children. He was generous with his time and optimistic, although he endured a number of family tragedies. His elder brother Alfred dying as a young man of 21 in the Papal Zouaves, George present at his death. His first child, Lucy, died on the day of birth, and his eldest son, Teddy, died at the age of 20. His 2 remaining brothers died in the same year, a couple of years later. Another son, Wilfred, was badly injured in a motorbike accident, the injuries remaining with him all his life. Through all this, he was characterised by an indomitable energy to carry out the work required for his many achievements. He had a great interest in life and a great curiosity. His sense of humour rounded out what was described by many as a remarkable personality. It is our wish that our grandfather, George Collingridge, should be remembered not only for his many achievements, his achievement within the artistic world, his achievements within the fields of history and geography, but as a man who loved all his fellow artists, all his family, and was very much interested in furthering the causes of art and history, but in also assisting young people in the pursuit of all these interests. Withal, he was very kind and generous to so many people, so that we hope that his name and his legend will live on.